Let me tell you the next steps for your research project. You have now turned in the topic for your research project for this semester. And so if we look at the syllabus, you will see, let me get down to that section. The next part is the interview part, okay? So what you're going to do is you are going to have to write 5 interview questions about the topic you have chosen. Okay? So what I want you to do is I want you to think about various people that you could interview about your topic so that you have a variety of perspectives. So some people to think about, as you can see on here, here are some suggestions. If you have access to a principal or superintendent, that would be great. But I will tell you right now, it's probably going to be the hardest ones to get a response from because they're extremely busy. But maybe you know somebody. You might also want to think about like a school board member or a parent that lives in the school community, someone that pays taxes that go to the school. Think about those people. A university professor, and I actually encourage you to think about interviewing someone not in the education department. So go talk to someone else in business or Bible or ministry or, just anything, psychology, and ask their opinions about your education topic. Think about experienced teachers, so maybe teachers who have been teaching a long time or ones who haven't been teaching very long, maybe even a student. It's quite possible that you've picked a topic that you could talk to a high school student and get his or her opinion on it, or someone who's recently graduated. So those are just some suggestions, but the first thing that you're going to have to do is you're going to have to come up with these 5 questions that would really prompt discussion when you're talking with somebody. Now, so don't think that all 5 questions, like, I don't think, oh, I've got all 5 questions here that I'm going to ask a parent and then 5 questions for a superintendent. Just 5 questions, and then think about each question maybe for a different person. So just something to get you thinking. I want you to write your 5 research questions and submit those to me by February 25th. Okay? And then you also need to be thinking about actually doing the interviews. And I want you to talk to at least 3 different people. 4 to 5 different people would be better, but at least 3, so that you have 3 different perspectives to add into your paper. So what you'll do is you'll use your interview questions as a guide, but don't feel limited to those questions. Of course, let the conversation guide itself. And I highly suggest you recording the conversation that you have. Just audio recording is fine. That way you can really kind of be in the moment and have the conversation, but then later you can refer back to your recording to really capture what that person said. So when you turn in your paper, what you'll do is you'll write interview question 1, and if you ask that question to more than one person, you'll put each person's answers. So I might put, here's what the teacher that I interviewed said. Here's what the high school student I interviewed said. And then I'll put question number 2. And I'll write the question and then do the same thing. Just report what the teachers have said or what the people that you interviewed have said. So you don't have to really add anything extra into what you're turning in for that. You just really need to conduct the interviews and then type it up into one document. All right? And what you're going to do is, sorry, I got distracted by that. But I want you to try to have all the interviews completed by March 17th. And so you might have to have one person who, like, you email the questions to and then they respond over email. But I really don't want you to do that for everybody. If you have to do it because of time crunch, I understand, for at least one person. But I do want you actually speaking in person to a couple of the people that you interview for this project. As always, let me know if you have any questions about what you have to do next. And then after we finish the interviews, we'll talk about where you go from there.